City series cigars and Citrus 7s, black cement 3s, 4s, the hairs and bread 11s. No doubt that I'll be wearing some fire at any sighting. With these Doran Becker 5s, you can see me in any lighting. It's exciting, I'll be flexing to the coldest degree.
What's up, everybody? It's Sneakerhead M Checks. I got the 2025 Retro Melo 12s releasing Saturday, May 17th. So as usual, we're gonna take a close detailed look at the shoe from all angles. I'm gonna put these on and step around them so y'all can see the look on feet. I also have the original pair from 2004, so I'll be comparing the two throughout the video and we'll discuss all the differences between them. After that, I'm gonna share my opinion on these, and then I'm gonna talk about release predictions, reselling predictions, and all that stuff. So let's get right to it. Leather on these looks not the greatest, I guess you could say. It's not as tumbled as it was on the original pair, especially on the tongue. I mean, it's a little tumbled, but it's way lighter up here than it is right here. Also, the laces look a little thinner too. Not really thinner than usual now, but definitely thinner than they were making them in 04. And it's not a big difference. So like if you look at them next to each other, you can see it's slightly thicker on the 04 pair. Here's the side. I've gotten so used to these tabs being discolored on the 04 pairs over the years that seeing it completely white on these is almost throwing me off a little bit. But y'all see what I mean about the leather? It's not so much about it not being as tumbled, it's more so about it being inconsistent. I've definitely seen worse, but like just a random wrinkle here in the middle when it's pretty smooth on the other parts on this side, that's what I'm talking about. You see that tumble's a little bit heavier here than it was on the other side. And I don't expect it to be exactly like it was on the original pair, but at the very least, I expect it to be as consistent. Like the fact that these are 21 years newer and the leather is actually less consistent than it was on the 04 pair is fucking ridiculous. But what can we do, right? Well, I'm gonna complain about the shit and make videos about it, but you know, what can we really do, right? I always felt like this shoe should have had a little bit of yellow on it somewhere just to match the Denver Nuggets jersey a little bit better. And back here would have probably been a good place to put it, but the way that the blue, black, gray, and white go together back here, just, I can't even blame them. Like, I still feel like yellow should have been in this shoe somewhere if it's going to be a Melo 12, but like, these look so nice from back here. All blue interior, insoles are blue as well, and have the white Jumpman logo on them. Here's the outsole. Pretty much the same as the outsole on the originals, just one little minor change. Now besides the fact that these were worn and these obviously aren't, which is making the white parts look, you know, more discolored than they should be. But anyway, I don't even know why they would change this, but you can see right here, they made this part where the 23 is black, whereas it was like a dark gray on the originals. So like I said, I don't know what would make them want to change that, but they did. They come in this OG 12s box that we've been getting all Jordan 12 releases in as of recent. But am I the only person that's tired of that? Like, I'm low-key tired of seeing this box. It was cool when they first brought it back for the re-release of the OG colorways. Like, I don't know if y'all know, but this right here, this is an original 12s box. This is the 1997 playoff 12s. Look at them real quick. But this is how the original Jordan 12s boxes look. So when they brought this box back, that was the idea. It was supposed to be the OG 12s box. So I forgot which pair came out in it first. I want to say it was the 2016 Flu Games. It had the Jumpman on the top and the Jumpman over here, but the colors and everything else on the box was inspired by this. Then eventually they took the Jumpman off and they started putting the Nike on the box, which was very cool for OG colorways, you know. Playoff 12s, white and red 12s. The Taxis haven't retro since they've been doing this, but I'm sure the upcoming retro is going to have this box. It's cool for that, but when they just been putting every pair of 12s in this box, it just takes away from the entire OG shit. I'm just tired of seeing non-OG colorways in this box. Nothing against the Melos, but y'all know literally every pair of 12s comes in this box now, and that's fucking crazy. But everything else on the inside is regular. Got this paper, the white paper under, and here's the box label: Air Jordan 12 Retro in white and University blue. Here's a quick all-around view of the shoe. Alright, now let's see they look on feet.
I get dressed and it look like I'm a melt. Big drippy on them. The hoes love it, I'm getting a little mixy on them. I'm in the flipping shit, doing a 360 on them. Getting high, taking vacations, I'm real trippy on them. And bring the baddest bitches with me on them. Pack it on my bags and get on a flight. In the different times, on by the end of the night. Edibles kicking in, I'm high as a kite.
So in comparison to the original pair from 2004, the 2025 Melo 12s have a slightly different shape. You can see how they have a deeper cut right here, whereas on these, it doesn't dip down as much right there. There's no discoloration here or anywhere yet, obviously. They have slightly thinner laces, a blue insole instead of white, and then this part down here on the outsole is black as opposed to the dark gray. My favorite thing about this release is the timing of it. If you're into basketball at all, you probably heard that Carmelo Anthony will be entering the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame this year. Well deserved. If you know basketball, you know Melo had a great career, most specifically with the Denver Nuggets and the New York Knicks, where he got a lot of cool player exclusive pairs from Jordan, especially on the Nuggets. So I think it was really well timed the way that this shoe's retro aligned with him going into the Hall of Fame. They announced that he was eligible sometime like last year, and real hoop fans knew that he was going, but they officially confirmed him as an inductee in the beginning of April, about a month before the release of these. So I'm sure that was done on purpose, and I think it was a good idea. It should definitely help them sell the shoe a little bit better. It'll provide a bigger nostalgia trip for the Melo fans, those who watched him play on Denver, those who had these or just remember seeing him around back then. And being that Melo's name and face have been on social media a little bit more as of recent with the Hall of Fame induction, some of the younger, less informed crowd who might have thought Melo was for the Melo Ball might be able to make the connection and realize it's for the real Melo. I know that sounds wild, but there are some younger kids, depending on, you know, when they were born and, you know, what they know about basketball, who are gonna think of LaMelo Ball first when they hear Melo. So, and I fuck with LaMelo Ball. He just can't have Carmelo's nickname like that. Like, it's already bad enough Denver let Joggers take his number. Like, don't even get me started on that shit. But yeah, now y'all trying to give his nickname away too? Like, damn, can we chill on the Carmelo disrespect? Like, shit is crazy. Anyway, fun fact, Melo was actually the first Jordan Brand athlete to get a signature shoe. Ray Allen, Mike Bibby, and all the Jordan Brand athletes that came before Melo, they had player exclusives, certain colorways on certain models made for them, but Carmelo Anthony was the first Jordan Brand athlete to get a signature shoe made for him to be released to the public. The Melo 1.5 released back in 2004 as well, and they went crazy in the streets back then. And those are probably still, because I can't think of no other shoe, those are probably still the only Jordan Brand athlete signature shoe that really had demand. I remember getting a pair to play ball in and then like low-key regretting it because I've seen so many people wearing them casually. I remember kind of looking at it like, damn, like should I have just wore these to get fly? But like those are my ball sneakers. I feel like once I start playing ball in the shoe, I can't like start wearing them casually. You know what I mean? Like I feel like once I start hooping in them, even if they not fucked up, like they hoop shoes. But yeah, I didn't mean to get too off topic. Like I was saying, this was a great time to release these. They did the 2s already back in 2018, so it was only right they retro these next. Personally, I wish that they would have dropped some of his player exclusives that never released to the public instead, but there's time for that still, if they ever were to. That's definitely not something I expect, but I really would appreciate if they did. Like, he's got a lot of fire, especially on the Nuggets. He got some heat on the Knicks too, but the Nuggets, like, I think my favorite PE of his is probably the Denver Nuggets 10s. Those are crazy. I like the Knicks pair too, but the Denver one, that might be number one for me. He's got some other pairs that I don't even know if I've ever seen him play in, but I've just seen like the shoes going around. I've seen pictures of them, like the black and blue 2s, the Denver Nugget black and blue 2s. Outrageous. There's another pair of 12s, all black leather, and then they have this Denver Nugget, Carolina blue, whatever you want to call it, but it's like this entire, basically like flu games, but this color blue. Crazy. I'd love to see one of those drop, but I don't know if we ever will. Maybe. Even if it was one of the pairs, like, I know some of his PEs got like his name on the side, even if they would have dropped like those 2s or those 12s without his name on it, those are still fire. Like, I could actually see them doing those 12s and calling them like University Blue 12s and just not having his name on the side, or Black and University Blue 2s, you know what I'm saying? I'd even appreciate that. They don't gotta have his name on the side necessarily. The name on the side would be cool because that's how the original PEs are, but I know how they be doing. Like, they probably won't include something like that. But enough about all that. Back to these specifically. I like the original pair, but I'm not really feeling the retro as much, to be honest. Like, they're okay, but they just don't hit the same with the different shape and the change in leather. Like, these look so much better with the higher cut here, and going from nice, consistent, tumbled leather throughout the entire shoe to this inconsistent, partially wrinkly in some spots leather is killing me. And see, with my side tabs being cracked on my original pair, it's really on this side, and the fact that this pair is a little small on me, I was looking forward to replacing these with the retro, but I can't. I don't want to completely shit on the new pair, but they're definitely not fucking with the originals. And being that I can still wear these, I think I'd rather rock with these. When the tabs get to the point where they just don't meet my standards, I can make my decision then and, you know, get them repaired, just sell them and get another 04 pair if I can find them, or break down and get a pair of these. But I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. For now, these are going to be a pass for me, so I will be reselling them. But leave me a comment and let me know how y'all feel about them. We know the 12s don't get a whole lot of love as it is nowadays for the most part. And even though I think Melo's Hall of Fame induction will bring a little bit more attention to these, I don't think it'll be enough for these to be anything to really worry about. Should be an easy cop, and you should probably be able to get them for under retail at some point, at least in most sizes. So definitely a no-go for resellers. I could see these kicking up in value a little bit once Melo's jersey gets retired, but probably not a whole lot, or to the point where they'd be worth the risk of holding on to them, but still. And speaking of jersey retirements, I didn't want to get into this earlier, but you know what I'm gonna say. Speaking of jersey retirements, Denver better do that shit, bro. I don't care. Joker should have never been able to wear the number 15 to begin with. But now that he has, as weird as it sounds, they gotta retire both. Carmelo Anthony number 15, Nikola Jokic number 15. It's gotta be done. Because both undeniably deserve it. I ain't never seen two players with the same number get retired, but you know what? That's Denver's fault, like I said, for allowing Jokic to pick up the number when Carmelo did what he did with the number 15. I don't care if he never won a ring. Check the resume. He was out there fucking balling. And what's so crazy about the Nuggets doing him like this is the Nuggets were so irrelevant before they drafted him. Like, I'm trying to think who was on the Nuggets in the 02 season before he got there. Like, I'm telling you, no one was even thinking about the Nuggets. People in Denver probably ain't give a fuck about the Nuggets before Melo came there. Like, he came and turned them up for real. They changed the jersey. Like, this jersey was made, I'm not gonna sit here and gas and say it was made for Melo, but it kind of might have been made for Melo. Like, they was wearing the them like navy blue and brown shits before then. Like, the whole logo, jersey, everything was just boring before then. But I'm not even gonna get too into that right now. Y'all can do your own homework on that. I love ball, so sometimes I start talking about it, I get excited and go off on tangents, when in reality I'm doing this video for these. If this video was helpful or informative in any way, I really appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in more early reviews like this or any other sneaker related content, please do us both a favor and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Once you're subscribed, make sure you tap that little bell icon next to the subscribe button and select all. That way when I put a new video out, you get notified and you won't miss out on anything. Thank you all for watching. Everybody please stay safe and healthy out there, and I'll see you next time.